This video is on going from equations to tables to graphs. Your equation is y equals 2x minus 1. You want to, when you create a table, you want your first column to be your input or your x value. You want your second column to be your work, so whatever you're going to plug your x value into. In this case, it's y equals 2x minus 1. Then you have a y value, you have an output that you get out when you do your work. And then you have a point. The point is optional because the point is really columns 1 and column 3 put together. You can start your x values wherever you want. I'm going to choose to start at 0. Usually we start at like 0 or 1 or -2 if it's a -1. And what you are doing is you are taking the exact same equation from above. However, instead of x, which you take out, you are now plugging in your x value, which is in column 1. You plugged in 0. Now, I notice that sometimes people plug in 0 every time. No, you plug in whatever input you have for that row. Y equals 2 times 0 minus 1 is -1. If you look at your order of operations, you have to do multiplying first. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 1. I'm going to show you how to check on a calculator. You would do 2 times 0 minus 1. You would get -1. 0, -1 is your point. X is what you plugged in. 0, y is what you got out. -1. Do the same thing again. Y equals 2x minus 1. I'm taking out the 2x and I'm plugging in the 1. So I would get 2 times 1 minus 1. 2 times 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1, so you get the point 1, 1. Okay. So then, at a certain point, you should be able to notice that instead of the x, in goes the y value instead of like erasing every time. 4 minus 1 gives me 3, so I get the point 2, 3. And then the last one, and I'm showing you where I plugged in because that's in red. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So you have 0.35. You get 0, -1. All right, 0. This is going to mean, the first point is going to mean, are you going right or left? Now, if I have 0, I'm not going right or left at all. But if I have a positive number, I'm going to the right. If I have a negative number, I'm going to the left. Up is positive, down is negative. Okay. So in this case, 0, -1, I'm going right or left 0, and I'm going down 1. 1, 1, I'm going right 1 and up 1. 2, 3, I'm going right 2 and up 3. Up, or to the right 3 and up 5. Alright, you need arrows on either end, and I would like you to label with your equation. Your equation is y equals 2x minus 1. That's an example of having a positive number in front of the x. Here's an example where you have a negative number in front of the x. Negative 2x plus 3. So again, you're plugging in x. You're plugging x into this equation right here. I want to make sure we know it's negative. You get out a y, and whatever points you get are what you plot. Okay, I'm going to start with -2 this time, just to get a different group of 4 numbers. Instead of x, I am plugging in -2. Instead of x, I'm plugging in -1. Instead of x, I'm plugging in 0. And instead of x, I'm plugging in 1. Everything else in this equation, and they're kind of like grouping together. I don't like that. There we go. Everything else in this equation stays the same. See, it just did it again. It grouped it together after I was done. Y equals negative 2 plus 3. Y equals negative 2. All right, so we have negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4, plus 3 gives you negative 1. And I'll show you how to check that again. I have negative 2 times 2 plus 3. So I end up with negative 1. The first point you're going to plot is negative 2, negative 1, which means you go left 2 and down 1. They're both negative. Negative 2 times negative 1. Wait, this one, because of that thing, I didn't notice that this was negative. I gotta try that again. Negative 2 times negative 2 plus 3. All right. So, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. And all the other ones you can see the negative, so that won't happen again. Negative 2, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next one is negative 2 times negative 1, which is positive 2, plus 3 is 5, so you get negative 1, 5. To the left 1 and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and already I'm noticing I'm going down from left to right. Let's see if that trend continues. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3, 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And then the last one, negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, plus 3 is 1. So I get the point 1, 1. And that is a definite downward sloping line. It's got a negative slope. I need arrows, and I need you to label the line. Y equals negative 2x plus